Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and this is my channel, Braiman Home. I have a vintage booth in upstate New York called Braiman Home, and in today's video, I'm gonna take you guys along with me, and we're gonna take our sourcing finds from our last video, and we're going to refresh the booth for the week. So it's been about a week since the last refresh that I took you guys along with, so we're kind of just, freshening up a little bit in here. I figured this would be a perfect video to kind of share my vision / mood board for the remodel that we're doing in a couple weeks. So I'll take you along, I'll show you certain parts of the shop that I'm looking to redo and what things I really want to work on this year. So let's go. My toes are cold. Got snow stuck to my shoes. Okay. Nice and toasty. This is how the booth is currently looking at the moment. I didn't plan to move too much around today, but of course once I got into the space, I wanted to move everything. And I just played with different layouts, and you'll see later in this video. Here are some new arrivals that are going into the booth this week. If you missed last week's video, my husband and I went to a couple antique stores and a thrift store, and we found some really cool pieces to add to the shop this week. Over the past year, I've been trying to be much more intentional with what I'm bringing into the booth. That's something I want to continue to lean into this year. I think 2026 is definitely going to be the year of smalls. I'm loving the idea of having more like approachable impulse buys throughout the booth while still keeping everything curated and cohesive. I just want to make the most of every square inch of this space and give shoppers lots of little moments to discover something special. Okay, let's talk booth remodel. This wall specifically is going to change the most. I love having the space all bright and white, but I feel like the space is almost falling flat and we just need a little more dimension. I have an idea of doing some type of imperfect grid wall here, and I have leftover barn wood that I used on the other wall in the booth, and I think it's going to look really beautiful incorporating that on this side of the booth. Inside the grid wall, I want to paint it a different color, and I'm torn between this like grayish pewter green or like a deep wine color. Both would look really beautiful. I'm just a little apprehensive about doing the wine color because a lot of the furniture I bring in tends to be like that darker, warmer wood tone, and I just don't want the furniture pieces to get like visually lost. So comment down below, what do you think? The wine color or like a pewter green? I also have a piano that has been refurbished into a bar that I have not brought into the shop yet, and I think that would look really beautiful, and it would be the perfect statement piece on this wall, and we can display beautiful glassware and decanters on top of it. I think that would be a really beautiful addition over here. In addition to painting that wall either a pewter green or a wine color, I would also want to paint the tapestry wall in our Braiman Home post the same color as that grid wall. That way that wall doesn't feel random and everything just comes together and is cohesive. Hi. Speaking of the tapestry wall, I am in no hurry to sell that tapestry. The tapestry is a unique piece that's going to take a unique buyer to purchase, and I'm okay with my statement pieces sitting for some time. It provides a high-end look, and it gives something to draw the customers in from the aisle. And if you're new to my videos, I've always said how important it is to have at least one big statement piece, something that a customer is going to spot from the aisle, and they just feel this pull to dive into your shop. My last biggest statement piece was a taxidermy piece. It was a Colorado elk. It was massive. It drew so many people in, it created so many conversations, and it really helped my booth stand out. I'm in an antique mall of over 200 plus vendors who are all very talented, and so it's very important to be different, go against the grain, and really stand out from the aisle. Yeah. Speaking of standing out and going against the grain, I have really tried to turn my booth into a brand. One of the ways of doing that was putting the letters Braiman on the post right before you walk into my space. It almost acts as a huge billboard right before you walk in. You already have the name Braiman in your head, you're just interested in seeing what this place is. With brand building, I feel like merch, such as like custom sweatshirts, t-shirts, long sleeve totes, all act as a great way to get your business out there. Now we're talking like walking billboards everywhere. We're constantly selling out of our merch because the people love it. I designed something that feels like our brand. I put it on a piece of quality apparel, and people love to support that. I even have fellow vendors who've purchased our merch, and I'm wearing one right now in this video. We're working on some new apparel right now, and I'm really hoping to have it done for the remodel so I can create a fresh display for it. My husband owns the screen printing company, so that allows me to have a little creative freedom when we're designing our custom apparel. Let me know in the comments, do you guys want to see behind the scenes of how we make our apparel? Clothes in general do really well in the shop. Everyone says smalls pay the rent, which is very true, but you know what really pays the rent? Clothes. I have my Braiman Home merch that's hanging on a display rack right now, but I have this vision of displaying all jeans on that rack and then maybe doing some type of display table for our custom apparel. Something I really want to work on is closing in the quadrants in my shop, but still keeping like a good walking flow. I have a men's corner that has like men's clothes and other things that lean a little more masculine when styling, which that needs a heavy restock right now. And then I also have a women's corner that has women's clothes, jewelry, accessories that also needs a heavy restock. In the women's corner though, I want to incorporate a small area for children's clothes and maybe like other children's items like books, puzzles, maybe other little interesting vintage items. I think closing in the corners a little more will give a cozier feel and give a more designated like section to those areas. Over in the men's corner, I have this vision of an old workbench being put against the wall, and I think it's gonna give like this interesting texture over there, and it'll act as a table to give height to like smaller furniture pieces. I found this workbench on Facebook Marketplace that I'm like incredibly drawn to, and if I can get it for the right price, I think it will be perfect. It has these little cubbies on it too, and I think that would be fun in an interesting way to display smalls and maybe like small art pieces. Even if I don't get this piece, it's definitely the direction I want to go with some type of old workbench. Some interior elements I want to incorporate in the booth this season are animal prints, maybe some slipcover furniture, leather, fringe, silver, taxidermy, mixing patterns and metals, and maybe even leaning more jewel-toned with the pieces of furniture I put in there. I feel like these all align with my style very well, and it'll definitely help my booth stand out. I'm not a huge fan of decorating the whole booth for like a particular season or holiday. Maybe if my booth was a little smaller, I could get on board with that, but like due to the size of my booth, it's quite difficult to have the whole entire booth dedicated to a holiday or a season, but I don't know, maybe one day. I do have an idea of designating maybe a certain table for a display for whatever holiday or season we're in. I feel like that's a creative way to concentrate those finds and help give like that seasonal feeling to the booth without being overwhelming. I'm just debating if that display should be front and center, like by the Braiman Home post, or if we should put it more towards the middle of the booth that'll kind of draw people in. To pee so bad. Yeah, I probably should. I just wanted to let me get this in position and then I'm gonna keep that chair there, so no, I think I'm good. Don't fall, don't fall. Okay. Oh my god, it's about to fall off. Kind of just over this. I have this idea of layering rugs on top of each other in the booth just to kind of ground the space and give more visual interest. I have a smaller circular rug right now, and I feel like it kind of gets lost because it's the same tone as the floor. And I would even be open to doing something maybe a little more bold or just kind of mix and matching. I'm not sure if it's going to happen for the remodel because I really have to hunt for the right type of rugs, but it's definitely a goal for this year is to get more rugs on the floor. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Freaking awesome. I'm not gonna fit. Here, will you do me a favor? Can you just hold this? Got it. So switch it up a little bit. Put this over here. I'll take this down. Alright, let's put this back. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I have to use the restroom, so I figured I would take you guys with me so you can see some booths around me. And yeah, I have about an hour to wrap it up, so gotta wrap it up. Lighting is super important in the booth. It can completely change the vibe of the space, and right now I do not have enough lighting in the shop. When I'm fully stocked with table lamps and floor lamps, it makes the space feel so warm, so inviting, and it completely changes the feeling of the booth. So I'm really going to work on trying to find more lamps to incorporate in the space for this remodel. Working smarter, not harder. Facebook Marketplace is such a beautiful thing. When I'm actively posting on Facebook Marketplace, 9 out of 10 times that specific piece sells almost instantly. The people see your listings, and then who knows, they see something in the background that they like in your shop and they're interested in that too. It's just an easy way to market yourself, and hands down sells the pieces faster. This is something I really need to work on this year and just be more diligent in doing. I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching and supporting my channel. This has become such a creative and meaningful outlet for me, and I'm just so grateful for this amazing little community we're building together. Your support truly means the world to me, and I'm just so happy you guys are here. So thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have any video ideas or requests, just let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Yes. No, yeah, that's good. You have the vision. I have to leave this here for a second because I gotta see it with it, okay? So we're gonna gauge, and then I'll take it down. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the refresh. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow along and join the Braiman Home family. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.